Have you ever wondered if simple kitchen ingredients could actually help your orchids grow faster and bloom more beautifully? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how to care for your orchids using something as basic as garlic and bird's nest. Yes, really. It's a super easy method, and the results might just surprise you. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more orchid care tips and share it with your fellow plant lovers. This orchid has started to bloom, and it looks like the flower spike is quite strong. However, there are a few dry leaves that we'll need to take care of. Let's trim off those old flower spikes. They've already finished blooming and are no longer providing energy to the plant. By removing them, we help the orchid redirect its strength toward growing new roots, leaves, and potentially another flower spike in the future. Alright, before we apply any fertilizer or nutrient solution, the first thing we're going to do is gently mist the plant with clean water using a spray bottle. Now, this may seem like a simple step, but it's actually super important. When we spray the leaves like this, especially in the morning or late afternoon, it helps activate the plant's natural processes. The moisture encourages the tiny pores on the leaves, called stomata, to open up. These stomata are like little gateways. They allow the plant to breathe, release oxygen, and most importantly, absorb nutrients. By opening them up before applying any kind of fertilizer or treatment, we're basically making sure the plant is fully ready to receive what we give it. It's kind of like prepping your skin before applying a serum. You want it clean and open to soak up all the benefits. Plus, giving the plant this fresh mist also refreshes the leaves, washes off any dust or residue, and cools down the surface, especially on warm days. For orchids in particular, which are sensitive and rely heavily on leaf health for overall growth, this step boosts hydration and helps prevent any stress from sudden nutrient intake. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to support me and never miss any orchid care tips. Now, let's prepare some oats. We'll be using them as part of our natural orchid care mixture. Use 3 spoons of oats. Oatmeal can be beneficial for orchids in several subtle ways. It contains natural compounds like beta-glucans and small amounts of nutrients that may support microbial life in the growing medium. Pour 500 milliliters of warm water over the oats to soak them, which allows the grains to soften gradually and start releasing their natural nutrients. This soaking process also helps to activate enzymes within the oats, making it easier for beneficial microbes to break down the organic matter later on. Stir the solution. Soak it for 30 minutes. Use 3 cloves of garlic, peeled and crushed, to bring out their full flavor and release natural compounds that can enhance the overall effectiveness of your mixture. Garlic contains powerful antioxidants and antimicrobial properties, which can help protect plants or improve the health of your soil when incorporated properly. Cutting garlic into small pieces helps release its natural compounds, including sulfur-containing substances that have antimicrobial and antifungal properties. When applied carefully around orchids, these compounds can help protect the plants from harmful bacteria and fungi that might otherwise cause root rot or leaf diseases. Put the garlic into the jar. Pour 500 milliliters of warm water. Stir the solution. Soak it for 20 minutes. After allowing the nutrients from the garlic to fully dissolve into the water over a period of about 20 minutes, make sure to stir the mixture thoroughly to evenly distribute the beneficial compounds. Once everything is well combined, strain the liquid through a fine sieve to remove the solid garlic pieces. This ensures that only the nutrient-rich liquid remains, which can then be safely used without clogging or residue, making it ideal for applying to your orchids or other plants. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to do is use this special solution made from charcoal and watermelon to gently clean the orchid leaves. Now, you might be curious why we pick these ingredients, and honestly, it's because they bring a lot of natural goodness to the plant. The charcoal helps absorb impurities, kind of like a natural purifier, while the watermelon adds some gentle moisture and nutrients. Plus, the garlic in the mix. Yeah, the same garlic we cook with has minerals and compounds that are super helpful for orchids. These minerals help keep the leaves vibrant and green, making them look fresh and healthy, almost like giving the plant a little boost of energy. It also helps the orchid bounce back if it's feeling a bit stressed or tired, maybe from weather changes or little pest attacks. So it's like a natural pick-me-up that helps the plant stay strong and lively. When you wipe the top side of the leaves, you're actually doing more than just cleaning. You're helping the orchid open up these tiny pores called stomata. These little openings are super important because they let the plant breathe and carry out photosynthesis, which is basically how the plant makes food using sunlight. So by wiping the top, you're making sure the plant can soak up sunlight efficiently and keep growing well. It's like clearing the windows so more light can get in. On the other hand, the underside of the leaves is where dust, dirt, and pesky bugs love to hide out. Wiping the bottom side helps remove all those annoying little intruders and keeps the air flowing nicely around the leaves. This is important because good airflow helps the plant avoid diseases and keeps it from suffocating under layers of grime. Also, it makes sure the gases move in and out smoothly, which is super important for the plant's health. So, cleaning both sides isn't just about making your orchid look pretty. It actually helps it breathe better and stay healthier overall. Another cool thing about wiping the leaves with this garlic-infused solution is that it gives the orchid a natural shield against pests. Garlic contains antibacterial and antifungal properties, which means it can keep away common orchid pests like red mites, aphids, and scale insects. These little bugs can really damage your plant if you're not careful, but with this natural treatment, they tend to stay away. It's like giving your orchid its own personal bodyguard, but without the harsh chemicals or sprays that can sometimes do more harm than good. Oh, and it's super important to pick the right time of day to do this. Early mornings or late evenings are perfect because the sun isn't blazing hot, so the plant can absorb the nutrients without getting stressed or sunburned. If you try to clean the leaves when the sun is at its peak, you might actually do more harm than good because the water or solution can act like tiny magnifying glasses, burning the leaf surface. So, timing really matters to keep your orchid happy. If you can, try to make this leaf cleaning a regular habit, like once or twice a week if you have the time. I know it might sound like a bit of extra work, but trust me, your orchid will thank you. It'll stay greener, healthier, and it'll have more energy to grow strong roots and bloom beautifully. Over time, you'll notice your orchid looking fresher and more vibrant, and that's always a great feeling for any plant lover. So yeah, it's a simple step but a really effective one. And it's all about caring for your orchid in a gentle, natural way that helps it thrive without relying on chemicals. The next step is to pour it into a spray bottle that produces a fine mist. This little trick is honestly a game changer, especially for folks who have busy lives but still want to enjoy a beautiful and thriving orchid garden without spending too much time fussing over every detail. The mist spray method is super effective because it allows the plant to absorb nutrients and moisture in a way that feels natural to it, almost like how orchids live in the wild. You see, orchids are not your typical ground plants. They're epiphytes, which means they usually grow on other plants or trees rather than in soil. Because of this, they get most of their water and nutrients from the air rain, and even the humidity around them. So, spraying a fine mist over the leaves and roots mimics the natural rainforest environment where orchids come from, providing the humidity they thrive in. This helps their aerial roots, which are exposed to the air, to absorb moisture better, which is super important for their overall health. When you spray the garlic solution as a mist, the tiny droplets settle gently on the leaves and roots, making it much easier for the plant to take in the beneficial minerals and compounds. It's like giving the whole plant a refreshing drink that it can soak up gradually throughout the day. Plus, misting increases the humidity in the air around the plant, which helps prevent dryness and stress. Orchids love that kind of environment because it helps keep their leaves glossy and their roots plump and healthy. Another great thing about using a mist spray is that it's so convenient. You can quickly spritz your orchids without worrying about overwatering the soil or causing root rot, which is a common problem with orchids if they're watered too heavily or too often. This method lets you control exactly how much moisture the plant gets on its surfaces without saturating the growing medium. For anyone juggling work, family, or other hobbies, this is a fantastic way to care for your orchids without turning it into a full-time job. Now, a word of advice. When your orchid is flowering or has buds forming, you'll want to be a little more careful with the misting. It's best not to spray directly on the flowers or buds because excess moisture there can sometimes cause them to wilt or develop mold and mildew. Instead, focus the mist mainly on the leaves and aerial roots. This way, you're still providing hydration and nutrients without risking damage to those delicate blooms. The flowers will stay fresh and vibrant much longer if you avoid wetting them too much. Doing this misting about once a week is usually enough to keep the orchid happy and healthy. Of course, if you live in a particularly dry climate or your home's air conditioning dries things out more, you might want to mist a little more often. But generally, once or twice a week works really well to maintain the humidity and nutrient balance. It's just enough to keep the plant comfortable and thriving without causing any problems. Beyond just hydration and nutrients, this misting technique also helps with overall plant vigor. After letting the nutrients from the oats fully dissolve into the water for about 30 minutes, make sure to stir the mixture thoroughly so everything is evenly blended. Once you've done that, strain the oat solution through a fine sieve to remove any solid bits and get a smooth liquid. Then, combine this strained oat water with the garlic-infused water. Mixing these two together creates a nutrient-rich solution that's perfect for nourishing your orchids, providing them with a balanced boost of minerals and natural compounds that support healthy growth and vibrant leaves. Alright, so after you've mixed up your oat and garlic solution, the next important step is to give your orchid a good, thorough watering with this nutrient-packed liquid. What you're really doing here is making sure that the roots get soaked with all the good stuff, the minerals and nutrients from the oats and garlic that your orchid needs to stay strong and healthy. The minerals in oats, like iron, calcium, magnesium, and a bunch of other trace elements, are fantastic for orchids. They help strengthen the roots, which is super important because healthy roots are the foundation for a healthy plant. When the roots are strong, the orchid can absorb water and nutrients more efficiently, and that leads to better growth, greener leaves, and more vibrant blooms. Now, it's best to soak the orchid's roots in this solution about 3 times every 2 weeks. This frequency is just right to keep feeding your plant without overwhelming it. But here's a crucial point. You don't want to leave the roots sitting in the solution for too long. About 20 minutes is perfect long enough for the roots to soak up those nutrients, but not so long that it starts to cause problems. If the roots stay wet for too long, especially in a solution that's rich in organic material like oats, there's a risk of root rot setting in. Root rot is nasty because it damages the root system and can eventually kill your orchid if you're not careful. So timing is key. Think of it like giving your orchid a quick, nutritious bath instead of a long soak that could make it sick. After soaking, you want to make sure the roots have a chance to breathe and dry out a bit before you water again. This helps prevent the buildup of moisture that pests or fungi might like. Soak it for 20 minutes. After soaking your orchid in the oat and garlic solution for about 20 minutes, by this time, the plant will have absorbed a good amount of the nutrients it needs to stay healthy and vibrant. This soaking period is carefully timed because it allows the roots to take in the beneficial minerals from the oats, like calcium and magnesium, which help strengthen the roots and overall plant structure, while the garlic's natural compounds help protect the plant from harmful bacteria and fungi. Once the 20 minutes are up, it's really important to carefully lift the orchid out of the solution and allow the excess liquid to drain off completely. You don't want to leave the roots sitting in water or solution for too long because that can cause more harm than good. When roots stay overly wet for extended periods, they start to lose oxygen, which is vital for their health. And this creates a perfect environment for root rot to develop. Think of it like giving the orchid a quick nutrient-rich bath, but then letting it dry off so it can breathe again. This balance between hydration and aeration is key to keeping your orchid's roots strong and healthy. After about 2 weeks of consistently caring for your orchid with the oat and garlic solution, you'll start to notice some really impressive changes in the leaves. They'll look noticeably greener and healthier, like they've been given a fresh burst of life. The leaves will have a deep, rich green color, not that dull or yellowish tint you sometimes see when a plant is struggling. After 2 weeks of using the oat and garlic solution, you'll definitely notice some great improvements in the orchid's roots. Healthy roots are crucial because they're the lifeline of the plant, absorbing water and nutrients to keep everything growing strong. The roots will look plumper and more robust, with a firm texture instead of being shriveled or dry. That plumpness means the roots are well hydrated and actively taking up moisture and nutrients, which is exactly what you want. You might also see the roots developing a fresh, healthy green or white color, depending on the orchid variety. This indicates that the roots are alive and thriving. Often, unhealthy roots turn brown or black and become mushy. But with the right care and nutrients from the oat and garlic mix, the roots stay firm and vibrant. Additionally, the roots will feel smooth to the touch and may even have tiny new root tips emerging. These new tips show that the orchid is actively growing and adapting to its environment. which is a fantastic sign of health. After 2 weeks of this care routine, you'll start to notice that the whole plant just looks stronger. The leaves aren't just green anymore. They've become firm, sturdy, and vibrant with this beautiful, healthy glow. You might even see a subtle pinkish or reddish hue along the edges or the tips of the leaves, which is a really good sign. They start to look alive, not dry, not soft and mushy, but firm and full, like they're packed with water and energy. You might see a soft silvery white or even a light green tone on the root surface, especially when they're moist, which is a great indicator that they're healthy and actively absorbing nutrients. Now, when you take a look at the flowers, oh wow, they're just bursting with energy. The petals have this rich, deep purple-red color that almost glows when the light hits them. It's that kind of color that makes you stop and stare for a second. You can really see how healthy the plant is just by how bold and vibrant the blooms are. And that's it for today's Orchid Care Update. Thanks so much for watching and joining me on this journey to healthier, stronger plants. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a tip. Drop a comment below to share your own orchid stories or questions. I love hearing from you.